Everyone, I'm Hannah Martin from Talent Ladies Club, and for those who've seen our webinars before will know that I am not in the TLC offices today. That's why the background looks so strange. I'm at home in my partner's office, which I've hurriedly, with talking to Louise before we came live, had to hide all of his messy things out of shot. And so I've got with me today Louise Brogan from Social BNI. Hi Louise.
Hi Hannah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, I'm delighted, delighted.
Excellent. And so Louise is going to talk about 7 ways to promote your business using Facebook. And I know this has been a really popular webinar, so hopefully Louise is going to be sharing lots and lots of great information. So I am just going to, this is where it all goes wrong, if you watch our webinars, you know this. I am now going to change over to Louise, if I can find her, here we go, and let Louise give her presentation. At the end, I will answer, or sorry, Louise will answer any questions. Please do ask them throughout. By the way, if anyone can't hear or see Louise now at any point, please do let us know, because I will jump on and sort that out. But do ask any questions, and Louise will answer them for you. I know that she's has a wealth of knowledge on Facebook marketing. So Louise, I'm going to hand over to you now.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Hannah. So let's go. Show your screen. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Hannah. It's really lovely to be able to talk to the Talented Ladies Club about how to use Facebook for business. So I am going to now.
Just a sec. I can see the screen. I can see that you're showing is a GoToWebinar screen. I can't see your PowerPoint.
Okay, here we go.
There, that's it.
Okay. So we will start at the start. Can you see 7 ways to use Facebook to market your business?
No, it was showing and now it's disappeared.
Okay. Okay.
Don't worry, I always have a backup to show. It's there now.
Okay, I want to start at the start though, because I've accidentally started on the 3rd slide. So are we on now? 7 ways to use Facebook to market your business?
Nope. Do you want me to show it at my end?
So it's not in the 1st slide? Yeah, I don't mind, Hannah.
Okay.
It says application is paused. Okay. You tell me that it's just what we talked about.
Okay, so I'm now showing it on mine. If you just let me know whenever you want me to change slides. And
okay, fantastic. Okay, so my name is Louise Brogan, and I have been working with entrepreneurs for full-time for 2 years, mainly focusing on social media marketing for business. And I'm really delighted today to be able to talk to the ladies here about 7 ways to use Facebook to market your business. So if we just move to the next slide, Hannah, please. Okay, so I really wanted to start with a brief introduction on why I think that business owners and entrepreneurs should be using social media to communicate. So social media is really a fantastic way to influence what is already being said about you online. So if you have friends and family who are using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they're already talking about brands and businesses and issues that they have. And what you want to do is really have an opportunity to have a voice for your business, to represent your business online. And Facebook is one of the best ways to do this. You can use it to promote different events. You can use it to give your audience a source of tips. You can interact directly with your customers and people who will become your future customers. And also, it's a really great way to respond to any questions or queries people might have about your business or services. And a really big one is being able to deal with complaints, really to nip those in the bud, take them offline and be able to manage those. So it's really about, you know, helping people understand what your business does and giving you a way to communicate with people who are on Facebook already. So we just, next slide, Hannah, please. So how many people are actually on Facebook? So these stats are, they're from earlier this year. It's probably grown already. But there are 1.4 billion people who have Facebook accounts, and every single day over 900 million people visit Facebook. So regardless of the business or industry that you are in, you will be able to find people to engage with your business, buy your products, buy your services on Facebook. So it really makes sense that you have a presence on there. Okay, Hannah, next slide, please. So when I work with clients on a one-to-one basis, and I do online training, but what I always start with is working on a strategy. So for every business who uses social media, you need to have a strategy, and if you need help getting started with developing a strategy, there's on my website, socialbni.com, there's a free download at the very top, which is a social media strategy template, which really gets you thinking about all the different things you should be putting in your strategy. So for example, what are your goals for using social media or Facebook? You know, are you trying to raise your online profile? Are you increasing awareness of your business? You know, Facebook is not just for business, it could be for if you work for a charity or a social enterprise, increasing awareness of what it is that you do and the reason and the purpose behind what it is that you do. It could be to drive people to your website. Your goals could be to drive people to, if you have a bricks and mortar premises, your goals could be to send people directly to your premises. You need to think about also, why would somebody actually follow you on social media? You know, are you giving them news about events? Are you offering promotions or special offers? Think about giving people a reason to actually follow you. Then you need to think about how often you're going to update your accounts. And I know for a lot of people who are solopreneurs, or, you know, people who are working from home or trying to do this part-time while they have a job, this is one of the big issues for the people that I work with, is finding time to actually use social media. So you can decide, am I going to post on Facebook daily? Am I going to do it in the evenings? Am I going to do it all at the weekends? You know, you have the ability to schedule everything in advance, but do be aware of the need to actually reply to any queries or questions or comments that people leave on your Facebook page. Another thing in your strategy is to develop your brand personality online. Don't just copy what other people are doing. You know, people buy from people in this day and age, and you want to get a bit of your personality across to build that connection with your audience. So you need to think about what your personality is online. You also need to choose your themes, and what I mean by themes are, if you have, so I work in social media marketing, and my themes would be working with women entrepreneurs, offering training, teaching people how to use Facebook, how to use Twitter, how to use Instagram. So those are the themes, and then that means I can look at my strategy and say, okay, Louise, have you covered enough this month or this year to talk about Facebook and Twitter? Or are you just focusing on Facebook? How are you going to teach people about Twitter? So thinking about your themes and making sure, then checking in with yourself that you're actually covering all the themes of the services and products that your business actually offers. If you have staff who work with you, or you outsource, possibly you might outsource your social media, are all the people who have access to your accounts on board with your strategy? Have they seen your strategy? You know, even if it's just a one-pager, here are my goals, here are the reasons to follow me, here's how often we're going to update, here's our personality, here's our themes. Have you shared that with the other people who may have access to your Facebook page? It might be something to sit down over a coffee with and discuss, so that everyone is on the same page, so to speak. Next page, please, Hannah. So one of the other main things I talk to all of my clients about is using images. So the reason you use images on your on Facebook is because they just stand out. They stand out in the news feed. They catch somebody's eye. You want to have nice, bright, warm colours to be engaging with somebody. Also on Facebook in particular, because people don't go to Facebook to be sold to. People go to Facebook because they want to see what their friends and family are doing. So if your images slot in alongside those other pictures, it kind of makes more sense that they would click on something that fits in with their newsfeed already. So you know, there could be different audiences that you're trying to appeal to. You might be trying to appeal to women entrepreneurs like me. You might be trying to appeal to the gaming community. You know, what images are you using that already fit in with your ideal client's newsfeed? So have a good think about that and use your appropriate pictures. And always use pictures on your social media, because if you just put text up, it just gets lost in the news feed. People don't have time, and you need to be able to catch their eye, and using images is a really good way to do that. Okay, Hannah. So the 7 things I'm going to cover today are, starting off with identifying your ideal client, engaging with your audience, being consistent, using Facebook to establish yourself as an expert in your field, using calls to action, starting to use video, which I know is a really hard thing for a lot of people, and then finally, the 7th step is going to be reviewing your progress. So we'll move on to the first one now. Hannah, please, to identify your ideal client. So in order to market your business on Facebook, you want to be able to reach your actual ideal client. So I talk to my my clients about avoiding this, what I call the spray and pray approach to marketing, which is when you get up in the morning and you think, oh, I have to put something on my Facebook page. Oh, quick, that'll do, fire it on and hope that it works. Again, going back to having a strategy, that just does not work, doesn't work with anybody. So if you try to market to everybody, you'll actually speak to nobody. So you need to identify who your client is, what you call your customer avatar. So again, back to your pen and paper. Who are your customer? Who is your ideal client? Who are they? What are they interested in? How will you attract their attention? And really quite importantly, what are their pain points? What are the things that they are struggling with that you are able to help them with? And that goes across all industries, whether you are in helping people with websites, or you're helping people with weight loss, or whatever, maybe they need help with their Excel spreadsheets. What are their pain points? If you can't identify your client and talk to those clients, they will start asking you for help with particular things, and those are the things that then will feed into your strategy for your content going forward. So next slide, please, Hannah. So who is your customer avatar? So I've given an example here of, say I have a Whole Food Snacks business. Maybe I'm selling, I don't know, organic, lovely almonds, snack bars or something like that. So my ideal client, I have decided I'm going to market to, for just the sake of today's webinar. It's a woman. She's in her 20s or 30s. She goes to the gym on a regular basis. She's concerned about what she's eating. She's willing to spend money on healthier alternatives. And I can probably find her in Facebook groups where people talk about healthy lifestyles. So now that I have identified what she's interested in, I can start to market my business directly to her. And what I really recommend, and it might sound a bit funny, is to give this person a name. So you could take a picture, just get a random picture of this woman. So I've got this picture of a woman by the beach. She looks like she's having a healthy lifestyle. She's excited about life. Print that out and write down beside it. So, her age, she's in her 20s and 30s. She goes to the gym. She's concerned about what she's eating. So these are the things that are going to then feed my themes of what I am going to talk about. And if I stick that up on the wall in front of my computer, then whenever I'm creating my posts for marketing on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, wherever I'm marketing, I am talking directly to her. And that's reminding me who I'm speaking to, so I don't go off on a whole tangent about something else. So that would be your customer avatar. Okay, thanks, Hannah. So our second point is to actually engage with your audience. And I'm sure you all recognize these little emojis now. Ideally, you want to get some kind of engagement from your audience when you post on your Facebook page. So we used to be quite limited in that we were only able to like or comment or share our posts. Now we're able to click on like, love, laugh, say wow, be sad, or be angry in our reactions. And you can do this on your own personal Facebook when your friends post, but you can also do it now on Facebook pages as well, and in Facebook groups. And in fact, if somebody replies to something on, so say you put up a post and somebody replies or comments on it, you can also now put all these emojis against their responses as well, which is only came out really in the last month or so. So what we really want to do is to be able to get somebody to comment, So it's wonderful if you see like 3 or 4 likes, but if somebody actually comments, you have drawn them out enough to think about something to say in response to you. And what you really want is for them to share your post to their own friends and family. So think of ways that you can do that to engage with your audience so much that they share your post to their friends and family, giving you a much wider reach with your post. Next page, please, Hannah. And the third point then I want to talk about is being consistent. So this is quite a common scenario for businesses using Facebook. You've got so far that you've picked your ideal client to market to, you're engaging with them, you're getting some engagement, and then life gets in the way, you forget to post for a couple of weeks, and your page goes quiet. There's a couple of things here. There is remembering what the tone of your voice is, or remembering how you're marketing to your audience. But there's also the dreaded Facebook algorithm. So once you start posting on your page and getting your engagement from your audience, your posts are then shown to more people. But if your page lies dormant for a couple of weeks and you go back because all of a sudden you've got a new range in your shop, or you've got a new product that you want to promote, you've lost all of that building momentum and engagement on your page, and you're kind of starting over again. So in order to actually grow your engagement on your page, you have to stay consistent. And again, it goes back to time as well, you know, having the time to do this. And if you outsource this to somebody else, you know, that's great, as long as remember that they keep on top of your strategy and check in on what they're doing, because I know a lot of people will outsource stuff to like virtual admin or whatever. Make sure you see what they're doing and check in on what they're doing, and don't just leave it up to somebody. I mean, a lot of local businesses that I would have worked with would say, "Oh, Louise, I just gave my Facebook page to my niece to manage, because you know she's young and she really knows about Facebook and social media and all that stuff." And that, my heart just sinks when I hear that, because yes, they might be able to go and share emojis with their friends and know how to use hashtags on their Instagram posts. That does not mean that they know how to market a business on Facebook. And if that's something you're doing, you know, absolutely fine, but make sure that it's working for you, you know, and make sure that that person knows what your strategy is, and that they're being consistent, and that they're using the tone of voice that you have given to your business for marketing on Facebook. Okay, Hannah. So the ways to be consistent are choosing your themes. So as I said earlier, if I was going to be marketing my business, my themes may be talking to women entrepreneurs, starting a business, using social media to market your business. So I would stick to my themes. I'm not going to go off and start talking about, you know, maybe I've joined a gym, or I've started a running club. Well, that's all very well and good, but that's nothing to do with my social BNI business. So that would not be a theme that I'd be sticking on. Develop your business personality. Is your business, you know, is it fun and friendly? Is it professional? You know, is it dry or slapstick? What way is your business coming across online? Think about how often you're going to post on your page. So, and stick to it. So if you decide, right, I have capacity to post on my page 3 times a week, your audience will start getting used to seeing when you're going to be posting on there. And you can schedule all your posts in advance if you're short on time. And let's face it, you know, who isn't short on time these days? So schedule your posts in advance, and then just remember to check in on what people are saying or commenting on your posts. You'll get little notifications on your phone anyway, but always make sure that you go back and see what people are posting on. Also, if you are using the Facebook schedule tool itself, which you can do, or you can use a third-party app like Hootsuite or Buffer, something like that. If you set up, for example, 2 weeks of posts, just have a little ding on your phone, a reminder to say, go and set up the next 2 weeks, because I've seen that as well, where people schedule 2 weeks of posts, and then they think, oh, Facebook is covered, I've got all my posts scheduled, and then the 3rd week comes along and they've forgotten that they haven't got their page covered. So just if you do 2 weeks in a row, put a little reminder on your phone to do your next 2 weeks and all, but you should be checking in on your page anyway to see how it's doing and if people are commenting on what's going on there anyway on a regular basis. Okay, Hannah. So another way to really use Facebook to market your business is to establish yourself as an expert within your industry or field. And that does not mean that you're going to be brought onto the BBC to speak about social media or about being a florist. It means that your audience who are following you come to know you as a source of useful, engaging, educational content about whatever it is that your business revolves around. So examples of this would be, if I'm a florist, I might be hosting to my audience. I'm not a florist, I don't know anything about flowers, so maybe this is completely irrelevant. But florists who are showing their audience what flowers are in season. You know, there may be, so it's May time now, so you know, our roses out. So what are the most popular roses? The Chelsea Flower Show has just come and gone, so there might be, I've been a prize-winning flowers in that. You know, if you are commenting and posting information about flowers as on your floristry page that shows your audience you know what you're talking about, within their eyes you become the expert and the go-to. That also means that they're more likely to ask you questions, you know, about what flowers you think would be good for this, that, or the other, or what would they plant in clay soil, or, you know, if they only had a small garden plot, what would you recommend to them? When you start getting questions like that on your Facebook page, you know you've hit your target market, because people see you as the expert and they're coming to you for advice, and that is just, you know, you are absolutely spot on with your marketing then. Another example would be if you run a coffee shop, you know, explaining just the simple things and what is the difference between a latte and a cappuccino. The number of times I've gone for a coffee and I've asked for a cappuccino and they've given me a latte, I would run out of fingers to count on. So if you're running a coffee shop, you know, talking to people about that kind of stuff might sound simple, but that's what people want to know. And maybe say if there's news about, you know, how much caffeine we're all allowed nowadays, how many coffees a day we're allowed. So you're not just putting up pictures about, you know, here's a picture of our beautiful cafe and here's what, you know, our special offer for lunch today is. You're also providing your audience with actually information that they're going to take in and use and find interesting. And my third example then is like if you're a health and lifestyle coach, you know, you're talking about here are recipes and menu options for you, but also, you know, establishing yourself as an expert, telling them why you think they should try the latest paleo diet or the 5-2 diet, or, you know, what's good about going running and why it's good for you, and or if you have sore knees, here's how to help you with this, that, or the other. So while you're not selling something directly to your audience there, you are showing them that you know what you're talking about when it comes to your industry. So basically, if you give your audience a reason to follow you, they will keep coming back to see what gems you're delivering on a more regular basis. It's called the know, like, and trust factor. So once they get to know you and they like you, then they're going to trust you. So when it comes to actually selling a product or service to that person, you're the first person that they're going to think of, the first business they're going to think of. Okay, Hannah. So our fifth tip or tool for today is using calls to action. So with every post you put on Facebook, try to include a call to action. So an example for me would be if I said, do you want to know more about how to use email marketing? Find out the top 3 reasons you need an email list here, and then I'd have a link to my blog post. And of course I would have my lovely image. So here's a post that I had put up 4 days ago now. So it is about my social media challenge. So I wrote 20 days into my social media challenge, and I have a bunch of happy campers with increased engagement on their Facebook pages. Call to action time. If you would like to join the June intake, sign up here. And then I've got a lovely picture of my social media challenge image, and there's a link underneath that. And actually what I did then as a second call to action was I went into my Facebook group of the people who are doing that challenge currently, and I asked them, I said, guys, would you mind going over to the post that I've just put on my Facebook page and letting other people know what you've thought of my 30-day challenge. So if you went to this post now on Facebook, you would see that they responded. So they've given me their feedback on that. So if you ask people to do stuff, you will find a certain percentage of them absolutely will. But if I had just posted up something about email marketing is excellent because it allows you to build a list of people to send your emails to so they can find out stuff about what you're up to, that would just go past people, and I wouldn't be asking them to actually sign up or to go to my website to read a blog post. It would just be, so you see the difference between just writing something informative and then writing something informative and then having a call to action at the end of it. It just brings much more engagement to your page and to your business, and you should always try and do it on every post. Just try and think slightly before you put your next post up on Facebook. How can I turn this into a call to action? If you so say you have a craft shop and you have all your new wools have just come in, so you put a picture up of the beautiful coloured wools, and your call to action could be, we just got all this beautiful new range of wools just delivered. I'm so excited about it. Having the call to action, you could say, why don't you pop in today and have a look and tell us what your favorite is? So there's two calls to action there. You're asking them to comment on what's your favorite color, and you're also asking them to call in to your shop and have a look in person. And that's going to drive much more action than just saying, look at all my beautiful new wools that came in today. Aren't they gorgeous? So think about putting calls to action under all of your posts. Okay, Hannah. So number 6 is really a biggie for a lot of people, and it's a big hurdle to get over, and that is to start using video. So the Facebook reach is dropping these days to less than 10%, and in fact it's probably a lot less than 10%, to be quite honest. What the reach is, when you put a post in your Facebook page, say you have 100 people have liked your Facebook page, or 1,000 people. Let's go with 100, nice round number. 100 people have liked your Facebook page, and you put up a post about the new wool that you've just got into the shop. Less than 10%, so only 10 or less of those people will actually see that post. So you have to think of cleverer ways to get your page in front of your ideal clients. And one of the best ways to do that right now is to start using video. So you can go live on Facebook, or you can create a little video. I mean, with a smartphone these days, you can create a perfect little video using your mobile phone and then upload it onto your Facebook page, and it will be shown to much more of your audience than just an ordinary post. Try not to share a YouTube video onto your page. Facebook and YouTube are not, they're competitors, so Facebook aren't going to encourage their members, if you like, to watch YouTube videos, but if you upload the video directly onto Facebook, you're much more likely to get it shown to more people. If you are uploading your own video, be aware that people don't watch a long video on Facebook. If I looked at you can go back to your insights and have a look at this, but basically if you put a video up on Facebook that is about 3 minutes long, and then you go and look at the insights on your Facebook page after a week or so, you will see that a lot of people will drop off after about a minute or a minute and a half. So I think the ideal length of video for Facebook is about a minute or 2 at the max. If you want to do longer videos, like educational videos or walkthroughs of how to do something, then it may be time to start thinking about having a YouTube channel, and then you can link to that in your marketing. But for video, you could do like a little snapshot video on Facebook and then say to people, if you want to know more, head to my YouTube channel to see more about this. So it's not a very long period of time, but interestingly, Facebook Live, people actually do watch for much longer, so that's quite an interesting dynamic or difference there. We just go to the next slide, Hannah, please. So tips for going live, and I have done a few Facebook Lives. I have to admit that I haven't done as many as I really should do within my industry, and also part of the 30-day challenge that I run. Yesterday, I challenged everybody to go live on Facebook, and you know, when you're doing a run or like a cartoon animal running along and they put the brakes on, there's a big screech. That was the first stumbling block for a lot of my challenge members. They just said, I'm just not ready to do that yet. But it is a really fantastic way to grow your audience and to get real engagement with your audience. So my tips for going live are: plan what you're going to say in advance. Prepare yourself. Might be time to, as I say in my Facebook course, brush your hair. Brush your hair and get some good lighting. If you want to talk about a certain subject, get a post-it note and stick it up on the wall in front of you with your 7 points that you're going to cover in your Facebook Live so that you don't go off track, and that'll keep you on track. Get good lighting. Make sure you won't be interrupted by your kids, your cat, your postman. Tell your mum not to phone you because you're going live. You don't want her ringing and saying, I can see you live on Facebook right now. That has not happened to me, although my mother has made comments about, oh, I love your little videos on Facebook, Louise, but would you not wear a bit more makeup? So I don't know, other people may have mothers like mine, but I'm not marketing to my mother, so that's fine. She's in New Zealand at the minute on holiday, so I don't think she's watching this. So once you're finished, so if people start to watch you, if you've done a Facebook Live, you will see a little red number count at the top of your screen, and it tells you how many people are watching you. Don't worry if this number is not very high, because you're able to share it later onto your Facebook page, and you do get far more views from people later on. Facebook also will share, once you start to go live on your Facebook page, Facebook will actually suggest your live video to other people who are not members or who are not followers of your page. That's another really good reason to try it out. People are able to comment on your Facebook Live, so try to read the comments and respond in real time. And don't worry about thinking, well, that doesn't look very professional. I mean, the whole nature of it is that you are actually live on Facebook, and you're a human being, and you're showing the human side to yourself there, and you're more likely to get actual interaction with people, and the whole know, like, and trust factor builds there, because they can see, actually, do you know what, this is a real person in a real business, and I think that I could work with that person. Also, my last tip for going live would to try and be consistent. So, once you've done it a few times, just to get used to it, try and schedule in a regular slot. So what about doing a live video every Friday morning, for example? It could be you pick your topics and you line them up for the next 3 or 4 Fridays, and then your audience get to know that that is when you're delivering some free training or some free information about your business. It could be a live video about, excuse me, about your new stock has come into your premises, or here's a behind the scenes of here are all the people within our business, and introducing people. One of the best posts that I see with my clients is whenever they do a behind the scenes and introducing the team, because people, again, like to buy from people and work with people. So those are my tips for going live. And we'll go to the next slide, please, Hannah. So my final out of my 7 ways to market on Facebook, it's not really a way to market on Facebook, but it is really a way to monitor and manage and review how you're actually doing on Facebook. So review, review, review. So once you start putting these tips into action, it is best practice to go and check your page regularly and see what it is that your audience likes best. Facebook Insights give you an absolute wealth of information. You can see when your audience are online, you can see the types of posts they like, you can see their demographics, you can see what town the majority of them live in, or what country they're coming from, you can see their age, it's an amazing wealth of information. And we're not talking about Facebook advertising today, but that is where Facebook advertising becomes so valuable to a business page, is because that information is there that you can really target those people. You're also able to watch 5 other pages of your competitors to see what posts are performing best on their pages. So it might not be your competitor, it might be somebody who is within your industry, who is a real high flyer, top of the tree in performance, and look at their page and see, because you may have a very similar audience, so you can see what their audience like best on their page and maybe do a little bit more of that on your page, because if you have the same kind of customer avatar or ideal client, it makes sense to give them more of what they like. And if they're following, if they're commenting and sharing posts on your competitor's page, you know, it might work with your audience too. But again, review it. If you do that for a while and you find it's not working, then review, go back and see what your audience like best as well. I'm not saying to copy what other people are doing here, absolutely not. I think you need to be really original on Facebook and bring your own brand and personality on there. But it doesn't, you know, it does no harm to see what other people who work within your industry are doing and talking about most. So as an example of that, when people have joined my Facebook group, the Social Beehive, I have the ability to ask questions about what is it they want to know most about, and they're saying Instagram. So I know that my audience want to know more about using Instagram, so I'm going to have to start thinking about developing blog posts and content around Instagram to bring those people in. So we go to the next slide, Hannah, please. This is really just to show you in behind the scenes. If you haven't ever used Facebook Insights, you can see that it shows you the number of page likes that you have. It tells you how you're performing week to week, the reach on your posts. So when I took this picture, this was sometime last year, I had 2,300 page likes then, but I had reached nearly 4,000 people with my posts, which shows you that people were sharing my posts. Because if 2,300 people like the page, and on average about 10%, 15% of those are seeing the posts, it makes sense to see that the post reach is far higher than the number of page likes, because I have got good engagement there. I've got likes and comments and shares reaching more people. And then underneath that, I would be able to see the 5 most recent posts, which ones were performing well, which ones people clicked on, which ones people liked or commented or shared. You're actually able now to look at, you can see, you used not to be able to see the names of the people who liked your page, and now you can, so you can see directly who the names of the people who are that like your page, which is kind of interesting. So you can see your likes, your reach, the number of people visiting your page, how your posts are doing, how your videos are doing, and the people who like your page as well. Let's go to the next slide, Hannah, please. So this is an image about showing me when my fans are online. So this is from my Social BNI page, and you can see that my spike is around 5:30, between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. And for all the clients that I've ever worked with, most of their spikes are actually in the early evening, around 7 or 8 p.m. And mine is the only page that differs from that with the clients that I have worked with. And maybe that's because I'm working with people who have a broader range of audience members than me, whereas my audience members, I think, are more women entrepreneurs, maybe people who have families and who work from home. Now, this is why this is my take on this slide, is that I think the women who work from home, they've got kids, their kids have come home from school and done their homework, mum's jumping on her phone and looking at Facebook a little bit, then the kids sit down and have their tea, mum has 5-10 minutes to herself, and that's when she's on Facebook. And I think that is why my peak is around tea time, because from my experience of being a mum with 3 kids as well, you know, you get the kids come in from school, they do their homeworks, they're sitting down, you know, you're having to help them with all the bits and pieces that they're doing, you give them their tea, they all sit down for tea, and you get 5 minutes in the kitchen on your own to get a cup of tea, and you grab your phone and you look and see what's happening on Facebook. That is complete and utter out of my imagination, that's why my spike is around there, but that's what I think is happening with my customer avatar. Then I could have gone along there, you could see the post types and the most popular post types, and then you can see as well, it's quite small there, but you can see the top posts from pages that you watch. So that's where I was talking about going and seeing where the people who are within your industry, what it is that they are posting that really resonates with your similar audience. So definitely worthwhile having a look at your insights. If you've just started on Facebook, you need 30 likes on your Facebook page and able to actually access the insights. So if you've just started and you don't see an insights tab, that would be why. You need to have some information in there before you can actually drill down into any of the detail. Okay, Hannah. So those are the 7 ways to help you market your business on Facebook. And I would really love if you were able to join my next 30-day social media challenge. That is a 30 days, it might sound a bit overwhelming, but you don't have to open them all every day. 30 emails in 30 days, and every single day I am pushing you to do something, give you an idea on what it is to post on your Facebook page. It's totally free to sign up, and if you want to come and join that, it's pinned to the top of my Facebook page, which is on Facebook, Social BNI, and it starts on the 1st of June. So we're currently doing, it was the 31 days in May challenge, but I realized then June only has 30 days, so I'm dropping one, and it's becoming a 30-day social media challenge. So I'd love to have some of the Talented Ladies Club members on there. We also have a free Facebook group that accompanies it, which is probably the most engaged Facebook group I've ever had. It's a really great way to connect with other business owners as well, because everyone is doing the same thing on every day and sharing their results into that group. And then just the final slide, Hannah, really is to let people know my website address and my Facebook page there. So socialbni.com is my website, and you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/socialbni. And I think, Hannah, we're going to have some time for some questions, hopefully.
Yeah, well, thanks ever so much for that, Louise.
Good.
That was great. I'm just, I don't know if anyone can, okay, it's brilliant. So if everyone has any questions, please do ask. We've got a couple here, and we've had some emailed in. So I'll start with the 2 here first of all. Please do ask these questions if her voice holds out. I was worried for your voice at one point there. So Gloria asks, should you put your face okay video on LinkedIn? Sorry, presumably, should you put your Facebook video on LinkedIn?
So using your Facebook Live video and then sharing it onto LinkedIn? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I presume so. Yes, I think so. Yes.
I would maybe post on my LinkedIn profile that I had just done a Facebook Live, because if on LinkedIn, if it's a personal profile and not a company page, you maybe want to get people from your LinkedIn profile over to your Facebook business page so they can see all the things that you're offering within your business. So I would maybe let people in your LinkedIn network know that you are, in fact, in advance, let them know you're going to do a Facebook Live so they can turn up and ask questions during your Facebook Live. But also it's a way of bringing them over to your Facebook page, which is a business page, unless you're talking about a company page profile.
Yes, so Gloria says it confirms it is a company page, and she lets them know in advance.
Oh, so she's posting videos onto her LinkedIn company page already?
Are you posting already on your company page, Gloria? Not yet, she says.
Okay. I think, well, I don't know what you think, Hannah, but I think LinkedIn is seen as a much more professional network, and I think Facebook Live is yes, you absolutely can do a professional video on there, but it's more of a connecting. People feel like they're connecting one-to-one with you, and I think it's a slightly different platform. So I would be more inclined to keep my Facebook Live videos on Facebook and direct people to those rather than putting them onto the other social media platforms.
Absolutely, and in many ways, I think Facebook is a bit more personal.
Yeah.
She agrees. An excellent session, she said as well. But no, I think Facebook is definitely we use it, you know, we have a personal account, and we need a personal account to have a company page. Yeah. And so people who are on there are seeing in their feed a mix of personal messages and business messages. So a Facebook live video is often not professionally edited. It's very personal, even though you're broadcasting it. Whereas LinkedIn, I think, is much more slick in the sense that there's something between you and your audience. You definitely want to present the best version of you. I think a Facebook live video is brilliant for that, like know, like, and trust factor on something like Facebook. It is more personal, there is less slick. But I think on LinkedIn, you want to keep a little bit of kind of a bit more professionally managed. And I would say less. I probably wouldn't do that, but that's my view.
I agree. Yeah.
So if anyone else has got any questions, please do ask. So Sarah asked on email, how do I manage complaints on my Facebook page?
Oh, this is a big one. So my what I recommend to clients that I've worked with is to take the complaint offline as fast as you can. So if somebody posts it directly onto your timeline, I would say, you know, perfect example is I worked with a range of coffee shops, and people would post and make a complaint, maybe that they didn't get what they had wanted in their sandwich. Say it's a minor complaint. And our response was always, you know, really sorry to hear about your experience. If you'd like to private message me your email or phone number, one of our senior management team will give you a call. And as soon as you kind of diffuse the situation, people are, you know, generally very forgiving. What he used to do was actually then offer them some kind of, you know, discount or voucher. But the main thing is to take it offline. Do not get into tit for tat, you know, with your customer on your Facebook page. I don't know if, Hannah, if you saw the one last year, it was shared all over Facebook. There was a wedding company, and they got into a bit of a row with a bride in a Facebook group about wedding dresses or something. I can't remember what it was. And it just got screenshotted and shared everywhere, and you don't want that. You don't want people to, you don't want to let the argument continue or spiral out of your control. So really, it's a wonderful medium to give people a way to connect with you and make their complaint. But what you want to do then is take that offline as fast as you can and resolve it for that person. Quite often, somebody had messaged my page the other day to ask about, they have reviews on their Facebook page. So depending on what way your page is set up, you may or may not be able to receive customer reviews. And she said, we've got generally quite a lot of good reviews, but we've just had a couple of bad negative ones. And she wanted to know how she could push those down the list. And I said, well, you can't alter the level that they stand on, but you could reply to that person and let your other audience members see that you do reply, you take it seriously and you do reply, and again, take it offline. And quite often I think, you know, people are reasonable human beings. If you reply to them and deal with their complaint or issue offline, you know, and just say, would you mind, they might take their complaint back off your page and delete it themselves.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. I would always say, be seen to address it. So just say on that, and I would just say, apologise without admitting. So say, I'm really sorry you feel that way. I would love to, if you can email me at this address or send me a personal message, we'll look at addressing that for you. So you definitely want to be seen by other people to be responding to that. Absolutely agree. Get it off. You don't want it all played out in public.
No, definitely not.
But you need to be seen to be caring. I think that's the important thing. And actually, and I've seen some brilliant examples where people have had a negative review and they've responded so well that actually it's been great for their business, really good marketing, because knowing that someone cares and knowing that someone cares about your experience can actually be a positive thing. So I think that's absolutely brilliant advice. So Keris asks, she says, I have a business which bakes and decorates wedding and celebration cakes and cupcakes. Yes, that's lovely, especially near lunchtime. I had shoulder surgery a week ago, so currently I'm unable to carry on with my business, and I'm not sure when I'll be able to resume. How can I maintain a Facebook presence?
Karis, I think, I'm really sorry to hear about your surgery, but I think you could turn your page into a resource for people who are interested in, you know, what it is that you do. Why don't you, if you're not able to make your cakes or cupcakes for the next while, why don't you think about becoming a source of information about how to bake the perfect cupcake? You know, give people other reasons to follow you in the meantime. To keep your page active and engaged. That would be my advice. And if you're not able to get somebody else to carry out the work for you at the moment, and it's quite a hard one, but if you can try and keep those people engaged. Also, when you're selling, if you're selling cakes, or say you're selling wedding cakes or whatever, you shouldn't, all your posts should not just be pictures of the cakes that you've made to sell. You want to give people another reason to follow you as well. So it could be other things that are of interest to those people. And also, I would post on your page and say, you know, I'm out of action for a little while, but I'd love to, you know what would you be interested in hearing about in terms of cakes, not about other stuff. And try and keep the engagement going that way. And you never know, it might turn into something else. You might end up having a YouTube channel showing people how to make cupcakes or decorate cupcakes.
Yeah, I think that's really good. One thing that I try and do is so on our page we share, in the morning we tend to share our latest post from TLC, and in the evening I look for third-party content. So content shared by other websites that I think is interesting and relevant for our audience. And I spend what I call a harvesting session. So I now have got my go-to websites that I know have the kind of content that I like to share. And so once a month I'll sit with a calendar and I will look for that content and I will schedule it in and I will mark off on the calendar each day. So what you could do, if you know there's a period of time that you can't maintain your page, as a placeholder you can just get that third-party content, have a mix of, as Louise is saying, like some lovely pictures, some like how-tos. Think about a really interesting mix of content on there, and then go and respond to people's comments, as Louise was saying earlier. You know, check on your phone if people are replying so that you are engaging back. And it could just be a way of keeping it going until you're ready to pick it up again. Gloria says, thank you very much. I just have to leave, but I will join your 30 days.
Oh, fab.
Liz says, I'm just starting out and don't have a Facebook presence. I'd have more brand, I'll have more than one brand. So would you have a different Facebook page for each line? Do you need more information to answer that, or? Yeah,
I think, is that like, do you have a website where you're selling different products? Is that what she means?
Yeah, can you just elaborate slightly, Liz? Is that, are they completely separate companies, or do you have sort of one umbrella company but very different products with very different target audiences underneath that? And are you thinking about having different pages, those different products? We'll come back to that one. If you can elaborate, I'm sure Louise will be happy to answer that. Sonia says, do you have any tips on how to identify your target audience and understand who your speakers are? So who your customers are?
Okay, so well, if you're looking at your bit, sorry, there's banging there. Apologies.
Sorry, so I just need to explain if you can hear banging. We're having a new roof put on the house.
Threw me slightly.
Today, the one day that I can't do this from our town, because we've got offices in town, so I'm at home, but I'm also at home with roofers. So if you hear any banging, sorry. So
what was I know what the question was. What was the name of the person who asked it?
Sonia.
Sonia. So Sonia, if your business, if you are you marketing a service or a product? And who you have to think about who is going to buy that, product. So what was your business?
She just says, do you have any tips on how to identify your target audience?
Okay.
And understand who your customers are. I think generally, I mean, if you were starting out and you weren't really sure, or you had a rough idea and you wanted to really narrow it down. Oh, I think Sonia's answered it. Hold on. I sell handmade lampshades.
Oh, lovely. So I would say that you are looking for, Sonia, somebody who is interested in investing in the furniture that they have in their house, that they are interested in handmade. I would say you probably would have a particular age group. And once you start marketing to people, you will see the people that are engaging with you. Facebook will show you the demographics of the most engaged people on your post. But sit down with a pen and paper and write down who are the people who will buy handmade lampshades. What is it they care about? So sit and write down as many things as you can think about that person is. So are they a homeowner? Are they, I don't think it's going to be somebody who has a busy household full of 5 or 6 kids with grubby hands. It's going to be somebody who really cares about their interior decor, for example. And that could be bringing in what you'd be posting about. You could be posting about home decor, looking at interior decorating magazines and the articles that people in there are interested in, and that gives you kind of a source of ideas for content for your page, rather than just putting up pictures of all the shades, because you would intersperse those pictures with all the other information. But really, it's sit down with a cup of tea or coffee and your pen and paper and write down as many things as you can think about the kind of person who wants to buy a handmade lampshade. I think, Hannah, I don't know if you would agree with this, but I think a lot of the time women entrepreneurs go into a business area of something that they are really interested in themselves. So maybe Sonia is the kind of person who wants to buy a handmade lampshade. So what is it, Sonia, that appeals to you about why do you want a handmade lampshade in your house? And think about all the things that you like that will be connected to that, and then you'll be able to really draw a picture of your target audience member. Hopefully that.
Also, some really good places to start are look at your competition. So look at other, not just other lampshade sellers, but people who sell very similar types of things.
Yeah.
And do a bit of research. Like if they've got people who are very engaged on their Facebook page, go and see if you can click through their Facebook accounts and see what you can glean about them. What kind of things are they doing? Just buying is always good. But what kind of things they comment on? What do they mention on the brands on there? What kind of things they talk about? And also think about what if there was sorry about the banging. If there was a magazine that you would see your lampshades in, what would that magazine be? So let's say it's Elle Decoration, and then okay, so what does the average Elle Decoration customer, what are they interested in? And a really, really good thing to do is go to a shop that's got loads of magazines, and go and look at all those magazines and find the magazines you think your customers would read, and then look at what they write about, because magazines are a brilliant way of they see through sales every month the issues that sell the best. So they will know if they talk about a certain topic or put something on their cover that's going to sell. So look at the topics they talk about, look at what's inside them. And finally, I would also say, if you've had existing customers or you've got people who are already fans of yours who maybe haven't bought from you, do a survey. You can do a free survey with something like SurveyMonkey. If you incentivize it, it will help you do a little competition or give a giveaway or a code, a discount code, and just find out and ask them things like, what brands do you like? What magazines do you read? What Facebook pages do you follow? What other blogs do you read? Any questions to help you get a big picture of them. As long as you've got the thread of of where someone might be, you can follow that thread and then learn more about them.
Another place, Hannah, there's a really fantastic resource for me is other Facebook groups. So if you can join a few Facebook groups of people who are interested in whatever it is that is in your industry. So if it's handmade or interior decorating or environmentally friendly products or whatever, there are Facebook groups for everything. And if you go into those groups and join, you can kind of have a look and see what other things people are talking about. So it's kind of like you can really delve into Facebook and use it to mine information about your ideal clients and what it is that they are already talking about on there.
Thank you, brilliant. I'm muting my mic when I'm not talking because it's dreadful here. So Liz is even more detail. So Liz asked, should she have one Facebook page or two? So she's going to offer GCSE French tuition from September with a new GCSE, and she'll be teaching English internationally as a foreign language via the internet. So should she have one page or two?
Oh, I would have two, because those are completely different audiences. So your GCSE French I mean, there's a wealth of content that you could use for that, but the people who want to learn French for the GCSEs are going to be, well, they're going to be teenagers or parents of teenagers, I would assume, and the people who want to learn English as a foreign language, they're going to be probably older, and the reasons they want to learn English are probably much more, are they looking for a job? Do they need English in order to travel to the UK or America for business or for a job? So their reasons for learning English are very, very different to the reasons that the teenagers are doing GCSE French. So in that example, I would definitely use 2 different pages, absolutely, because you're talking to 2 very different audiences and you're giving out 2 very different messages.
Yeah, absolutely agree there. Sean's had a really good comment. She says, enjoying the webinar, thank you. Sonia might benefit from creating 2 or 3 user personas to help identify her audience. And I absolutely agree with that, because you might find there's not one particular type of person that might buy from you. So it's always worth looking at maybe having more than one avatar. So that's a good comment. Lavinia says, I want to open a brand page for a new business. What is the best way to make it public, and in brackets known, considering that I don't want to invite my own contacts? So it's starting a page from scratch. How do you get that on the map?
Okay. Well, to make a page go live, I think you have to have one person in there, or maybe that's for a group. So when you start your page, I would start then sharing it into Facebook groups as again another great way to get people over to your page. Start posting on your page. If you don't want to go down the lines of using paid advertising, it's going to have, you also, when you have a blog and you have your keywords and you have your search engine optimization, which is where people Google certain words, people also do that on Facebook. So people do go into the Facebook search bar at the top and put in particular words. So when you're filling out the settings of your Facebook page, make sure that you're putting in keywords that are to do with whatever your business is, so it can be found as well. If you don't want to share it with your own friends and family, I think it's interesting because a lot of people do start out that way, and then because you might know, for example, the GCSE French example, I think it was Sonia. I don't have anybody in my house who's doing GCSE French, but if Sonia invited me to like her page, I could share that into a parents group that I'm in for local mums and dads in my area who may be looking for a tutor. So, I don't see any harm in asking your own connections to share your page, but if you don't want to do that, then maybe think about starting just a couple of pounds on Facebook ads to get your page in front of people. Share it into Facebook groups that are within the audiences that you're trying to attract. If you have a Twitter account, share your Facebook page on there. And if you have an email list, if you have a website, and make sure you always have your social media accounts shared on your website and shared across other places. And you'll just start, once you start to grow and start providing interesting, engaging content, your audience will grow organically.
I think one I noticed, and I don't really have time to do this anymore, but when we were looking at actively growing our Facebook page numbers, the easiest way that I found to grow them was to like pages that I knew my target audience were liking, and then to like and comment on their posts. So I would just click on my Facebook page's feed once a day, and I would scroll down, and if there was a post that was relevant to what we were doing and talking about, I would like that. And I would try and always write a comment, and I would make sure it was intelligent. I'd make sure it demonstrated expertise and knowledge. And I found that lots of people, if they were fans of that page and looked at the comment, would then click through to our page and like it. So that's a really good way. Same with groups and posting in groups.
Yeah.
And I would say, like Louise is saying, anywhere you are, whether you are sending out an email, it could be an email signature. It should be, if you're writing blogs, it should be a call to action on your blogs. It should be on other social media channels that you're on as well. And also, don't just restrict yourself to Facebook. So you can go out on industry websites and forums and blogs related to this and comment on there, and just put that in a signature. Don't push it. If you're too salesy, if you go on a blog you've never been on before, and you write a comment, someone's put a blog post up and you say, that's interesting, please like my Facebook page, you'll actually put people off. But if you comment on blogs regularly and you have that, if there's an opportunity to have that as your signature and just put your Facebook page link, or you might just say, if a blog is about a certain topic, that's really interesting, here's my take on it. If anyone would like to know any more, I've got a Facebook page, just being a softer, but just making sure that wherever you are online, you're sharing it. And one of those, like, it's a snowball effect. I'm sure you've probably seen this, Louise, that when you start out, it's really slow going, and it seems to be putting a lot of effort in but not much return. But over time, the more people who like your page, the bigger their network are, and the spider web grows. And you'll find that at some point in time, like now, I don't do anything to promote our page at all, but it continues to grow because it's got big enough, it's reached critical mass. Yes. So don't worry, it will be slow going in the beginning. You do have to put the effort in, but it is rewarded. But like Louise said, and everything that she said in this webinar is so important. Knowing what your goal is and being really targeted. There's an expression that Louise uses and I use about vanity numbers. You might come across a page that's got 10,000 likes on it, but unless those 10,000 people are really engaged, ideal customers of that business, they're not really worth anything. It's better to have 100 people liking your page, and those 100 really engaging with you and being potential buyers of what you're selling. So just focus on getting the right people to find it, and trust that in time it will start to evolve on its own.
Yeah.
So Naomi says, if you're an e-commerce business, so she says, I sell sustainable children's furniture and interior products. What split of product, other interesting info or relevant posts do you recommend?
So what aside from the products?
Yeah, so I think what she's talking about is the 80-20 split, isn't she?
Yeah.
So how much should be self-promotional and how much should be sharing generally useful content?
Yes, so they say 80-20 rule that Hannah's referred to there is that 20% of your posts really would be about your actual products, and the other 80% is about giving really interesting, engaging content to your audience. So sustainable products for kids. So you could talk about, I would suggest you're trying to target a very specific market of parents there. What are those parents interested in? And maybe that would a few ideas about what are their likes and interests, why do they want to have sustainable products, a bit of backstory as to why that's important, why it's important to you, why you started this business. So much more of a, getting to know the people behind the business is much more likely to lead to then when you do actually post whatever your new gorgeous product you've got in, they're more likely to be interested in it because they feel that they know you. And they understand where you're coming from, why it is you're doing what you're doing, and they're much more engaged with you. And maybe stuff to do with just things like what to do with your kids in the summertime, and why you believe that this brand of paint is good for you or bad for you. And there'll be lots of stories in the papers as well, in the media, that you could tie in with that, as to if a particular paint is found to be harmful to children, or an increase in asthma, for example, in the kids living in a particular area, and tie all that in as well. So you're really providing people with a source of education, engaging content, and reasons to follow you. And then every now and again, then you're going to be popping in and telling them what it is, where they can find your products, where they can find out more about you. Okay, brilliant, thank you. And Sonia, Liz, and Lavinia also, thank you. Alison says no questions, but it's a great session. Thank you very much. She's signed up for our LinkedIn challenge. Brilliant, thank you, Alison. Naomi says that's really, really interesting. Thank you so much. So it was brilliant. It's 12 now, so I guess we should give Louise a break. Thank you for all the questions. If anyone does have, I'm sure Louise would be really happy if you went over to her Social BNI page on Facebook. If you didn't get a chance to answer any questions here, or you're watching the playback, I know quite a few people signed up who are overseas, and so they couldn't watch it live. Okay. Playback. So if you're watching this and it's not live and you didn't get to answer a question, please do. I'm sure Louise would love to hear from you. And sign up for her birthday challenge, because
if you really want to do Facebook, it sounds like it's a brilliant opportunity to get into it. David?
Yes, brilliant.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Louise.
Oh, thank you.
And that's okay. And the people said I've actually taken a lunch break now, I think. No mobile's over. And have a lovely day, everyone. And thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.